Broker of Brokers here, guys, and I think you're going to enjoy what we're going to show you now. Mr. Glenn Martin, very nice to see you.
Nice to see you, broker.
Now, tell me, this plane, or any plane in fact, going up needs a certain degree of fuel. It's getting destroyed a bit, but let's keep rolling. Tell me, what fuel does it use at the moment?
These jets all use kerosene.
And what's your proposition?
Well, we're working on a technology that will allow us to produce liquid hydrogen fuel for aviation.
And what's that going to mean for the world? Because we're talking about the world here. We're not just talking about an aeroplane. We're talking about a revolutionary, a game changer. Right or wrong?
That's absolutely right.
So what does it mean?
Well, it means that we can decarbonize aviation, which is to say the amount of pollution, greenhouse gases that are coming off of every aircraft as it flies through the air is going to be zeroed out. It's zero carbon aviation when you use liquid hydrogen fuel.
Is that going to be regulated as well? Are they going to bring that in government-wise? What's this Paris Accord I hear about? What's all that about?
Well, the Paris Accord is commitments that the governments have made to reduce their carbon footprint.
Right.
And most governments in the world have signed, and they've flowed down those carbon reduction obligations to all of their economy, and particular airlines that are operating aircraft fleets within the countries.
So, from what I can understand, so you have, so this is about changing the world, but it's also a business proposition we're talking about today. Because we want to present to you, imagine if you had a situation where you had an Elon Musk or any Steve Jobs or any great game changer in the world that has an investment opportunity. Would you be interested? I think you would. And Glenn here, correct me if I'm wrong, are you a rocket scientist?
I used to say that on my business card, yeah. I used to be a designer on the International Space Station. And so my title was engineer scientist for that work. I worked on the thermal radiator rotary joint, which was part of the thermal control system for what is now the International Space Station.
Wow, that's impressive. How did it feel being in that world?
It was very rewarding work. I worked on it for almost 10 years, back starting in 1991. Design work, we actually went through a complete clean sheet design through manufacturing, and then shipping it down to the Cape to launch on the shuttle in 2001 and 2002 timeframe.
Now, the Broker of Brokers likes to talk to stars, potential stars, huge stars, people that are very special and different in their world. And Glenn and myself met, and we felt an initial communication, some very good chemistry, I think.
Very good.
And that's a great indication of people's integrity, of people's visionary. You are a visionary, and you work with Boeing in the early days.
When I was younger, my first job out of college was with Boeing de Havilland, Canada, working on the design of a turboprop commuter called the Dash 8. And then later in my career, I worked for McDonnell Douglas and Hughes, both of which were then subsequently purchased by Boeing. So yes, effectively, I worked for Boeing for almost 2 decades.
So what's the innovation that we're talking about here? We're talking, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not an expert, you are, you're the expert, but from what I've done with research on you, we're talking about really hydrogen, which is clean hydrogen, as opposed to grey hydrogen, which is put through some sort of water electrolysis, is that the system? Exactly. And you've found a way, you've sort of game changed a way of producing this energy which can be used for many things, not just airplanes, pretty much anything, I would imagine.
That's right. So we've designed a system that takes advantage of all the expertise of the space industry that my team brings. A lot of the launch vehicles, the space shuttle particularly, and Delta IV as an example, and the Ariane launch vehicle, use cryogenic liquid hydrogen as a fuel in addition to oxygen. And so we brought that expertise to the clean hydrogen space. So we'll be producing hydrogen with water electrolysis and green electrons, solar, wind, and hydroelectric power, and then liquefying it through a very advanced system that is 3D printed or using additive manufacturing.
So to simplify it, basically at the moment the plane is taken up with a form of energy. Glenn has found a way cleverly to hybrid the system to get in a scenario where he's going to change the world, and you have an opportunity because there's an investment here. You're looking for funds. What are we talking about in terms of that? This is your company, HYOX. Now, what exactly are you looking for in terms of money here? How much and what do people get? Because the problem with investment is people don't talk about the nitty gritty of it, and you need to know what that is. So let's get down to basics.
Well, the HYOX Limited, we founded here in the UK in January of this year.
Okay.
We are taking in a seed round of £5 million.
5 million.
We're going to be opening that round at the beginning of June. So we're working right now with a group of investment advisors like yourself,
right,
to arrange and close that funding. We are also EIS assured by the HMRC here in the UK, which allows investors to make a tax advantaged investment.
So to give you an example of that, guys, as you know, we raised money for Trick or Treat movie, and that was successful. There were some tax advantages. So in the movies, same with this, there are tax reasons to do this, but it's also to be on board with something that's going to change the world. And I think it's very clear from sort of talking before with Glenn that this technology is going to be, a massive game changer in the next 5 years, 10 years. I mean, it's happening now, isn't it?
It is, actually. We're working with a couple of companies that are actually creating hydrogen conversion kits for turboprop aircrafts, one company here in the UK. And so we're just working on the ground fuel supply side of the equation with airports and airlines. And so, yes, the timeline for the conversion of these first set of aircrafts is 2024, 2025 timeframe. And then we got the big guys like Airbus and Boeing coming online with brand new designs that are hydrogen fueled coming online in 2030 through 2035.
So here's the deal. You've seen a little bit of an insight to Glenn, and there's going to be an opportunity to meet the man, but it's not just a meeting, coffee and a chat. It has to be business, because the broker of brokers is all about business. And that means that we've looked at the due diligence side, making sure that the teams are there, the right teams, the right thing is in place, your money is safe, you've got great opportunities. Otherwise we wouldn't be, taking it from an interview into an investment opportunity. So if you're interested in this, be in touch, rs@thebrokerofbrokers.com, and we will set up a meeting with the team. Any questions you want will be answered, so you'll be able to understand what this is all about and what potential. Talk about the potential.
Well, the technology that we've developed is in a white space, which is to say no one else is doing it in this area. The incumbents have 100-year-old technology that is ripe for disruption and innovation. So we're applying radically new technologies, artificial intelligence, additive manufacturing, cryogenic liquefaction technologies that really haven't been combined before. So there's a potential upside of market here, total addressable market. If we are to build one of these units, 1,000 tons a day, if you calculate the amount of hydrogen fuel that is going to be hitting the market by 2050, you've got 170,000 units that could be sold in the next 30 years. So there's tremendous upside potential. It's going to be $1 trillion market.
So it's a chance to get in at the right time and really leverage your investment opportunity. And the broker of brokers, from what I've seen, says yes. Bye for now.